First, the rifle was submerged in water, then it was rubbed in sand. After that, most of the rifles either jammed or failed to eject their spent casings. But one rifle kept firing without any problems. It was the world's most famous rifle, the AK-47. The man who created it was Mikhail Kalashnikov. He had originally been a tank operator. During a battle, his tank was destroyed by enemy fire, and his arm was badly injured. While being taken to the hospital, he noticed that the soldiers' rifles were not functioning properly. Magazines were damaged by water, and springs froze in cold weather. Weapons like that could cost soldiers their lives. That was when he got the idea of designing his own rifle. After recovering, he returned to his old machine workshop and said that he wanted to build a new firearm. Since he had a good understanding of machinery, he was given a small room to work in. In just 3 days, he completed the design of the first AK-47. His hand had not fully healed yet, so he received help from a few workers. Together, they worked hard and built the first prototype. Now it was time for testing. One of the workers picked up the rifle and fired at a steel drum. The bullet went straight through it. He fired again and again, and each shot hit accurately. The rifle's power had been proven. After that, Kalashnikov went to a military office to get approval for his weapon. However, when the guards saw him carrying the rifle, they mistook him for a terrorist and detained him. Later, an officer tested the rifle himself and was amazed. It performed better than the others. But according to the rules, the rifle could only be approved if it won the annual shooting competition. The officer called in a general. The general also tested the rifle and was very impressed. He said that Kalashnikov should represent the military in the competition. For that purpose, he was sent to an arms institute in Moscow, where he was given his own room. However, in the very first test, his rifle failed and was rejected. Disappointed, he started heading home. On the way, an officer stopped him and gave him another chance to design a machine gun. Kalashnikov took the opportunity seriously and worked hard to create a new weapon. The test was successful, but it still was not selected. He was devastated. Then news arrived that Germany had surrendered. The war was over. Everyone was celebrating, but Kalashnikov was unhappy. He felt that his weapon would no longer be needed. He met with the officer and said that he wanted to return home. The officer silently handed him a piece of paper. It stated that weapons development was still important. Kalashnikov returned to work. Learning from his previous mistakes, he designed another rifle. 2 years later, the new AK-47 was ready. During testing, it was fired at a drum, and every bullet hit its target. He was thrilled. Just then, guards arrived and arrested him for conducting tests without permission. But Kalashnikov remained calm because he had complete confidence in his work. He was brought before a general who also designed firearms. Kalashnikov quickly disassembled his rifle within seconds, separating all of its parts. The general was astonished. He had never seen a weapon that was so simple and durable. He granted permission for it to enter the competition. Now the real challenge began. All the rifles were first submerged in water and then rolled in sand. Most of them jammed. Finally, it was the AK-47's turn. It fired continuously without stopping. Not a single shot missed its target. Kalashnikov won the competition, and the AK-47 entered mass production.